I was the sole breadwinner. I had 2 young kids, young family, new home. So how did I quit my very stable job as a clinical pharmacist that I didn't really quite enjoy? Well, in this video, it's a follow-up video to one I've made previously about why I quit my job. I had some follow-up messages and questions, and one of the things that came up was how? How did you quit? Well, in this video, I want to share the 3 things that really helped me quit. And honestly, they're things that you're probably not really even considering, although some of them you may be like, yeah, that makes sense. So, time to share. What I think is really interesting about this subject is that people talk to me about what they want a lot. I run a career coach company, and we essentially help people make career transitions much faster than they would by themselves. And I often hear people's idealistic view of what they want. They feel like they need the perfect job that's remote, that's flexible, that lets them work whenever they want to or not want to. And it reminds me of talking to someone really young about their perfect partner, like the perfect person for them before they even really start dating seriously. They think things like it's got to be the perfect timing, they have to have the right credentials, they have to have enough experience, but they need to get started now. They feel that they can't get started now, or that the business idea needs to be done by someone else to validate that there's even a market for it. It's all of these perfect things and scenarios, and I find that it's far better to just act childish in this whole endeavor. And so my hope is that this is going to be a little bit fun for you, because if you're not having fun, why do it at all? The first thing, and I think no one really considers this when trying to quit a job, and that is a commitment, an oath, a vow to doing it and giving it your all. From 2012 to 2016, I caught the entrepreneur bug, and I was like, no, puppy. No, puppy. Poppy, if you're going to do that, I can't do it while I'm making a video. Okay, so from 2012 to 2016, I caught the entrepreneur bug, and I was trying anything and everything. I would learn about a new business model, and within 2 weeks, I had my own version of it, trying it out online. I sold baby strollers. I sold stickers on Etsy. I sold podcast brand building packages. I created medical content. I created written content online. I created boot camps and training courses, and all of it was really fun and interesting. I was waking up at 5 a.m., staying up late from after my kids went to bed, around 7:38. I would stay up for another 2 hours working. I wasn't playing video games. I wasn't, I don't know, tickling my fancy, whatever that means. Don't tickle my fancy, okay? Anyways, for those 4 years, I did it all because I wanted to be free. I wanted to live life and do work that I loved all the time. And that wasn't happening as a pharmacist. So, unfortunately, I was so in love. I was having an affair with creativity. And so anytime a new idea would come to mind, I gotta go do that. And I learned after a really hard conversation that I had no commitment. I was ashamed of my situation, that I had been trying for 4 years and I was no closer to being free, to having a full-time business. And it was coming face to face with my shame and realizing what was happening was that love affair and a lack of commitment. I have coached many, many people, and the number one thing that I feel slows people down is having no commitment. They say they want to do something, but as soon as they come up to the resistance, life throws challenges in our way. And sometimes we're like, why isn't this easy? Well, because it's not easy, well, then they think, oh, the universe isn't helping. God's not helping me. There's no market here. Instead of talking with other people, instead of paying for a course or trying something else, they just give up. So many people I know over the years who try things and do things. In fact, I've had copycats. I've had quite a few copycats of my business, and they usually end up quitting around 2 years, I've noticed. At first I felt threatened, but I realized they weren't committed. They tried something and they couldn't make it work because they weren't committed to doing whatever it was. So in 2017, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to coach people until I can replace at least my living expenses. And frankly, we were living quite cheaply. To be honest with you, I was only paying, if I cut everything out and just did the bare necessities for me and my family, we needed about $3,000 a month. Probably $5,000 for the house if we didn't already pay it off early. So that's what I needed to be happy. And I said, if I can't do this by 18 months, if I'm like not even close to it or not even halfway, then I will give up. But at least I'll know by that point, I gave it my everything. And wherever in life that I feel like I'm struggling, or whenever I feel like something's not right, or I don't know, I feel like something's missing, there's unfulfillment there, there's usually a lack of commitment to be fully present, to be fully on and give it my everything. So if you're wondering why you haven't quit, it's not the money, it's not the opportunity, it's not the timing, it's not the right partner, the right person, whatever. It's commitment. That's the first place to begin. And honestly, the second one is a lot more easier to explain, but it's having just money. It's having the ability to make money and to have money. When we quit, I had, I think at the time, about a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. My business was paying me, like I was actually pretending as if my day job didn't exist. So I was setting aside all that money for cash or things that we wanted to purchase. We were saving up for a trip to Scotland. And so I was just pretending like that money wasn't coming into my real bank account. And I was setting aside money. And I still have that money to this day because in business, I've learned that it doesn't need to affect my self-worth. But there's months where things don't go your way. You get a huge expense. Sam calls wanting its check. But guess what? I know how to make money. And if you are in the habit of trying and experimenting and doing business, like you know how to make money. It comes down to helping people. And helping enough people will eventually get you what you need and want. And ideally, that is probably money to survive. And there have been months where my business hasn't paid me. But I chose that on purpose to maintain the functionality of the business, to invest more into it, and to ultimately rely on the emergency fund, that fund that I have that's set aside for when things are bad. And I think a lot of people in business, business gurus want to talk about how you can always make more money, more sales. But like the truth of the matter is, you can't predict everything. So you got to be prepared. A great book on this is Profit First. Highly recommend this book. And it has a great chapters about why you need to take profit out of the business, even if it is losing money, and how to set up accounts so that you know what they're there for. It's not just one giant pile of cash that you feel like is either dwindling or growing. There's so much emotion tied up with money that I feel like it is so not worth your time worrying about. This is the number one concern, though. Everyone is so afraid of money and the security of it all. And what's so funny about this is that, everyone wants a 9-to-5 secure job. Not everyone, but most people. And yeah, as soon as that one source of income is gone, they're freaking out. Rightly so. That's your one source of income. Whereas for me, I have multiple sources. I have my investments. I have my coaching business. I have my own personal clients that I take on occasion when I need a little bit extra cash or I want to pay for something. And then I have an offshore service. I forgot that. Yeah. So I have a few sources of income that help me pay the bills that when I need them to. So you need money. But the final thing that I feel like is the most important thing on your endeavor, if this is really the path that you wish to pursue, is skills. Building a business, making money, learning how to close deals, how to market yourself. These are invaluable skills that you would use in your career anyway. And this forcing myself to be in situations where I had to learn is so valuable that my career never gave me. Once you get a job, your manager wants you to do the job. And in 90% of companies, they don't want you to be the best of the best. Let's be honest. Okay? That's the majority of jobs. They want you to just do the job. Even if you are, 20% better than your colleagues, you're not going to get paid more. You're not going to make more money. You're not going to be recognized more. You're not going to get really any benefit out of it. I remember I had a colleague who went and got a certification that I was considering, and I found out that all she got paid more was about $700 a year. Less than $70 a month for all of that work to learn, to take the test. Ridiculous. But in business, the skills of marketing, accounting, sales, taxes, invoices, accountability, holding people to their word, leadership, I would have never learned that in a job. And I'm constantly getting better. Part of even doing this YouTube channel is me forcing myself to learn how to speak better to a subject and to engage people. Now, you could look at whatever I'm doing, saying, "Oh, you got to do a lot better, Alex. Come on." But for me, it's not about how I'm doing in this present moment. It's that it's the practice of learning something and gaining new skills and being more valuable to more people and helping more people. So, frankly, even when we have bad months or heck, bad years, I had 2 not great years in business. And I'm not ashamed to say it because I went through depression and I lost my father and grief, and it was just a hell of a mess. But I'm here now loving what I'm doing because I'm forcing myself to grow. So no matter what path you pursue next for your life, your work, as long as you're pushing yourself, you're heading in a wonderful new direction. So that's it. Those are the 3 things that really helped me quit. The skills to have the confidence to do what I was doing, the emergency fund and the consistent paying of myself and growing a business on the side. And really, what was that first one? Oh yeah, the commitment, the most important thing. If you have, these 3 things, you're surely on a wonderful path forward. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. And until I see you in the next one, take care.